Hey everyone, Thursday update. Tony George, DocSports.com. Thursday night football. Dirty Birds on the road, taking on the Panthers this evening on Thursday night football in the NFL. A couple of video updates for you real quick. Yesterday, Scott Spreitzer and I did the Docs Gridiron six-pack. 3 college games, 3 NFL games, picks in all of them. Right here on this channel, tune in. The three of the biggest games of college football. TCU, Texas. Bama's taking on Ole Miss. Saban going to go down, and, the Falcons going to hear from the Falconeer. Yeah, Lane Kiffin taking on Nick Saban. Huge game in the SEC. Another big game in the SEC. Mike Leach faces Kirby Smart's Georgia Bulldogs. We're talking about that game in Mississippi State. And 3 NFL games. Also, podcast yesterday. If you didn't tune in live, it's archived on Twitter and Facebook. On Twitter, at TGeorgeSports. On Facebook, if you're not a Twitter guy or gal, just type in Tony George Sports. I have a group page over there. Tim Fines, my small conference expert, joined me. He's the guy that went 64% for me in the WNBA. Tony, why don't you cap all your games? Really? You want me... It's very hard to be an expert in 6 different sports at the same time. You're spread out too thin. I'm already putting in 14-hour days, minimum. 7 days a week. Between capping, researching, watching games, combing over box scores. It's nice to have staff cappers who help me along the way. And he's one of them. He's a small conference college basketball guru. He knows these conferences. We broke down about 13 or 14 of these small conferences. He gave you picks for what the best teams were in them, he thought, and what the dark horses were going to be. At the end of the show, we also gave away futures picks in some of these preseason tournaments, these pre-conference tournaments, like Maui Invitational, down in Atlantis, that basketball tournament, and some conference winners' best bets. So tune in. It's 50 minutes. The first 4 or 5 minutes, there were some audio issues with his end. It's live. We're taping this thing live. So things pop up live. And it is broadcast live on Twitter and Facebook. But once it's done, it stays there and you can watch it at any point in time. Tune in. Going to be a great 1-2 punch in college basketball. I'll have all my small conference stuff covered from him. I'm able to concentrate on 3 or 4, a couple of Power 5 conferences, and, of course, the Mo Valley and Ohio Valley, which I do every year and do them well. So, great 1-2 punch. So, be sure and tune in. We'll tell you what's going on over at the website. When you dump this play, I will tell you, and I always tell you guys the way it is here on these videos. There's no pulling punches. I have my NFL game of the year on Sunday. How do I come back after a rare losing week? We've had a lot of winning weeks in NFL and college. Last week was not a good week. Not a good week. Yeah, well, 0-1-1 on Sunday. Pushed on the 6-unit play on Tampa. Lost on Green Bay. Learned my lesson there. And lost on teaser because Kansas City couldn't cover the 6. So how do I come back? Just rip the books a new one. Right out of the gate. Booyah! So be sure and stay tuned for that. Now, tonight. Panthers, this was a game that involved 71 points the first time around. Now, a Category 1 hurricane hit Florida last night, for those of you that are living under a rock. And it's wreaking havoc on weather on the eastern seaboard. And this game is going to be 100% chance of rain and medium to high winds. Now, rain really doesn't bother teams as much as wind. And I like the under 41.5 here. Bear in mind that Atlanta is one of the highest, if not the highest ranked team in the NFL when it comes to run-pass ratio. They run it 58% of the time. And I'll give you a little tip when it comes to looking at totals. Prop betting, which we have a couple of props out in this game. That's the only way I see to bet this game tonight is props. I don't want anything to do with it. Game, actually, other than just this free play, which is just a small lean. We're not selling our 401k and, trying to unload on a Thursday night game because they're always tricky, both in NFL, college. It's why I don't mess around with them very often. And if I do, I usually get burnt because conventional wisdom goes out the window on games like this, especially travel, short week. Atlanta's the better team, but, so the coin flips games, Everybody was unloading on Philadelphia last week against Houston. Going to kill them. They're the number one team in the NFL. They're unbeaten. Houston sucks. They can't hit a bull in the ass, handful of rocks. Get all over Philly. How'd that work out? Okay. So, I take a look at these prop bet numbers, and I like to take a look at the quarterback numbers because these prop bets usually land around these numbers, 8 times out of 10. And both these quarterbacks tonight have low passing yard numbers because everybody knows it's going to be a predominantly run-type game. They're going to run the ball because you can't throw in 15, 20-mile-an-hour winds. And it also affects field goal kickers and their accuracy. So I know they scored 71 points the first time around. You're going to see a lot of Cordell Patterson, for Atlanta. You're going to see a lot of Foreman for Carolina. You're going to see a lot of running the football tonight. Dink and dunk with the passing game. A lot of these guys, longest receptions, if any of them's over 20 yards, you might want to rethink it. Might want to go under with them. Take a look at the prop market. But I do like the under tonight. Easily could be... It could be a game where I don't think maybe either team reaches 20. And I could be wrong. But with this weather and how these teams are built, and neither one of them, these quarterbacks, even with those passing yards, neither one of these guys is a prolific thrower of the ball, especially Mariota. So that's why he lost his job in Tennessee, and that's why he never got a shake in Vegas or / Oakland and then Vegas, just saying, why Kyle Pitts isn't shining. We don't need Julio Jones and this other receiver. We're not going to throw it that much. This new coach, we like to run the ball. So I'm going to take the under tonight. Over at DocSports.com, I mentioned a two-pack with player props. Boy, say that fast 3 times. 2-pack of player props in this game tonight. 4-unit NBA best bet. 6-2 run in the NBA. One last night. By the way, in the NBA, you're 9-2 against the spread if you faded the Lakers every game. They suck. They're kind of like Green Bay, except they established their identity way earlier. We just flat out suck. Just saying. Yeah, I took Clippers last night against them. Laying 3? Come on. What? Man. But nonetheless, NHL. We took a day off yesterday. The day before that, we had a 7-unit play. Great 4-unit totals play tonight in the NHL. 3-unit college basketball. You want a free college basketball pick? If you stayed tuned for the video long enough, take Presbyterian +3 over the Citadel tonight. There you go. There you go. Football cards all will be up at 5 Eastern today. 8-unit NFL Game of the Year on 4-pack. 6-unit top play in college football. It's all Saturday games. 3-pack with a 6-unit top play. Although we had a 1-2 Saturday last week, we're still 10-3 against the spread the last 4 Saturdays in college football and have hit 20 out of 27 top picks dating back to last year. You want to make money? Right there's where you go. Free $60. Link in the description below. Utilize it. Weekend football packages are $99. That means you get it for $39. Yeah, I went to college. I can do the math. Be sure and get over to Docs. Check it out.